Hello and welcome to this week's newsletter. And sorry about last week. Well, I just didn't get time to do my newsletter, so we got a couple of weeks to catch up on. It was the first week of the summer holidays, which is always a busy week for me. So I actually didn't manage to get my video done last week. So we got 2 weeks worth of news to catch up on. And first of all, we'll start with the club captain's day played last Sunday and Keith Wright's day, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable day by all. We had the medal, the statement in the morning for the captain's clique, and then in the afternoon it was a 9-hole 3 clubs and a putter challenge, which went down very well. And let's have a look at who won it then. I know Keith had a thoroughly good day, and everybody I spoke to thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was Dave Wooden who won. He won with 41 points. Well done, Dave. He beat Tony Wren into second on countback. Oh, unlucky Tony. Good effort that. But so Dave Wooden won the captain's clique. He won the captain's day. Well done to Dave. Bill Ball came third with 40 points. Well done to you 3 gentlemen. And then in the afternoon, it was Arthur Derby. Arthur playing great at the moment. He just won the Junior Handicap Club Championships and is now added the afternoon section of Captain's Day. It was 3 clubs and a putter, and he won with 20 points over 9 holes. So great effort that, Arthur. Well played. Glenn Turley came second with 19 points. Always a bit of fun. 3 clubs and a putter. Which clubs do you choose? Well, obviously Arthur chose the right ones. I'm not sure which one. I haven't spoken to him since, so I'm not sure what he chose. But well done, Arthur. Obviously did very well. 20 points there for 9 holes, 3 clubs and a putter. Great stuff. So yeah, well done to everybody who took part. I know Keith appreciated your support. He's doing a great job this year as Keith, even though his golf is not quite so good. But we'll go into that in a minute. We had a bit of a disastrous Captain Pro match played last week, but I'll talk about that more in a moment. I've got to compose myself because it's quite upsetting because I wasn't very good, and Mr. Captain, bless him as well, wasn't so good either, so we struggled. But say more of that later. Let's continue on with Galston Golf Club news, and we'll go back to Thursday's the 24th of July mixed monthly. We'll go back to Sunday 24th of July, the mixed monthly medal, where Bob Cooper won Division 1 with a net 70. Well done. Richard Reynolds came second with a net 72. In Division 2, Tom Houchin won with a net 69, beating Jack Flaxman into second with a net 71. And in Division 3, Tom Gardner won with a net 67. He beat Howard Kellett into second, and came second with a net 68. Then we'll go on to the Lady Centenary Greensomes, played on the 27th of July, where Vera Warnoff and Jackie Walsh won with a fantastic 49 points. Wowee, superb that. In fact, great scoring all around, because Lee Denny and Jean Eagling came second with 47 points. So great golf that, and well played, super scoring that. Then we'll go to last Thursday's men's midweek Stableford, where Eddie Reid won Division 1 with 37 points, beating Dave Punter into second on countback. Unlucky Dave, but good score that, 37 points as well. Mark Ford won Division 2 with 41 points, beating Jerry Patterson into second on 40 points. Martin Farrow third with 39 points. And in Division 3, Graham Geddes won with 43 points. Well done, Graham. He beat Fred Simeons. Well done, Fred. Nice to see a nice return to form for you. Thoroughly deserved that. Fred came second with 42 points. Hopefully get that handicap going in the right direction, Fred, so well done. Phil Wright came third with 40 points. That's good scoring, that, because it wasn't easy out there at all. And then we've done the captain's clique. So let's now a good time to go into our Captain Pro match played last Thursday in what I thought were difficult conditions. Clearly not with some of the scoring in Division 3 last week. But yes, me and Keith had a thoroughly enjoyable game against past captain Howard Thornton and Sean Maloney. Well done, gents. They actually thrashed us by 8 points in the end. Neither Keith and I didn't play very well, and Howard and Sean played very well, and when they messed up, they dovetailed excellently as well. So me and Keith ended up getting 34 points, very disappointing, and Sean and Howard managed to get 42 points, so well done to them too. They played really, really well. Like I say, me and Keith were not at the races. That's the first time I've been out and played for a month due to staff issues, etc. So I was a bit rusty, and Keith, bless his heart, still just struggling with his eye a little bit, struggling for a bit of confidence and focus on the golf ball, so that doesn't help either. But it was great to get back out there after a month off. Shame we lost. but I've got to put some more practice in, try and find some time, because I just wasn't simply good enough. But then Sean and Howard were superb, and they will go into the day on the 20th of October with an 8-point head start. This week I've got Bob Picton and Scott Watson, so that'll be an interesting game. Two guys I know really well, so that'll be a good fun game. Hopefully I can manage to play a bit of mind games with them, because that's what I'm going to need, I think. But it's going to be a tough game, but thoroughly looking forward to getting out there again on Thursday afternoon. On to tour news now, and we'll go back to last week's ladies' fourth major championship of the year, the Evian Championship, played in France, and it was a fantastic event, always on a beautiful golf course, the Evian Championships. And it was Brooke Henderson, the young Canadian, who claimed her second major title. It was all very close, and any number of players could have won it on the final day. Brooke Henderson went into the last round with a 2-shot lead, and she didn't look very happy all day, but she managed to win by 1 shot. Charlie Hull had a chance to win, but she just missed a couple of putts towards the end that could have done her good. But in the end, Brooke Henderson, the young Canadian girl, held on to win by 1 shot from an American who I don't know of, called Schubert. I think she's quite new on the scene, to be honest, but she did really well. And Lydia Ko, back to form, not quite winning the major championships that she did when she was young, but she's knocking on that door again. So Brooke Henderson was superb. On the PGA Tour, it's been all about Tony Finau. Tony Finau has won back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour. I mean, they're not big events, to be fair. Well, on the PGA Tour, so they're big events, obviously, but not some of their biggest ones. But for years and years and years, Tony Finau, for the last 10 years, has won one PGA Tour event. He's struggled to close tournaments out for a long, long time. Then he won one last year, and now he's won back-to-back. So does that mean the floodgates are going to open for Tony Finau? Because he's a phenomenal talent. My word, can he hit a golf ball, and my word, can he hit it a long way. But he's always struggled to close out tournaments, always struggled with his putting, to be honest. But he's now done it back-to-back. So well done, Tony Finau. It'll be interesting to see what happens to him now going forward. We've got the FedEx playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks' time. No majors now until next year, but certainly Tony Finau learning how to win on a PGA Tour could be good for the rest of could be good for him certainly, but not so good for the rest of the PGA Tour. In Europe, we had the Hero Open at Fairmount St Andrews, where Sean Crocker, American lad who's been on the European Tour, or the DP World Tour, for a few years now, won his first event. He managed to beat Eddie Pepperell. Nice to see Eddie Pepperell back up there again. He struggled with his game the last couple of years, but Eddie Pepperell came second. But Sean Crocker, young American lad, finally won for the first time, probably about 5 or 6 years he's been on tour now. Closed it out beautifully, so that was good at the gorgeous Fairmount St Andrews. In shop news, we've taken delivery of these two little beauties. The new Callaway wedge, the Jaws Raw wedge, and the new Ping chipper. That's right, Ping have bought a chipper out. I know, hard to believe, isn't it? But there is certainly a lot of talk about chippers on the market at the moment. And if you do struggle with your chipping, i.e. you struggle with the 7-iron, maybe just psychological more than anything, isn't it? 7-iron, 8-iron chip and runs, which are the most basic shot in golf, to be honest, but I know they can get in your head psychologically. Then chippers are great, aren't they? They're superb. So if you do struggle with your chipping, with those little sort of 7-iron, 8-iron bump and runs, then a chipper is a way forward. And the Ping chipper, they bought one out, there it is. It's quite a nice looking chipper, to be honest. You treat it just like a putting stroke, just a nice tip-top motion, as I would say to the kids, like a putting stroke. Just brush the bottom of the ground, and all of a sudden the ball will chip up in the air nicely. It's 8-iron loft, so it'll do the same as that, but it's got kind of the same sort of angle to it as a putter would do. So if you're in the market for a new chipper and you want a premium chipper, then Ping have bought this one out. Great at the moment for those firm, fast fairways when you're not going to stop the ball much anyway, because the fairways are so firm and the greens are firm. Then a chipper is an ideal club, isn't it? So if you're struggling with your chipping, why not come have a little play with this? Great little alternative, that. And now we've got the Callaway. Talking about the opposite end of the spectrum, the Callaway Jaws Raw wedge. So it's got one of those faces that if I take the cover off, that will gradually rust a little bit to create more purchase on the golf ball. The rest of the head is your normal kind of forged head, but the face will have that extra spin on it, and also will spin more with the wet as well. Let's read what Callaway have got to say about their new wedge. Okay. Jaws Raw brings raw scoring performance to your wedge game, featuring the most aggressive grooves in golf, with a raw face that promotes maximum spin. For the first time ever, Callaway is bringing tungsten technology to a wedge, for a weight balance club that offers both feel and control. These new technologies are balanced with the craftsmanship honed from Roger Cleveland's 40 years of designing some of the most sought-after wedges in golf. So they've got Roger Cleveland, famous for Cleveland golf. They've got him designing their wedges now, so that's always a plus because Cleveland wedges have always been excellent. It takes spin and control to new levels. We combined offset groove in-groove technology with the most aggressive groove in golf for a control of one hop and stop trajectory. More spin, more spin, more spin. Weight balance design, so it's nice and forgiving. On the first colourway wedge with tungsten on the sand, and lob wedge we use to centre the CG for control and feel. Yeah, okay, so very forgiving. The raw face, we've removed plating on the face, which exposes the groove edge for maximum friction and spin, the rustiness. This also allows for rusting over time in the scoring without impacting playability. The premium look is maintained across the rest of the club head. And then it comes with different grinds, different bounces, different lofts, okay? So yeah, it does look very good. I've not tested it yet. I've got some on order. So when they arrive, my one's on order. I don't want to take the face off just yet, okay? Because I don't want it to start rusting before somebody purchases. But I've got mine on order. They should be here soon. So as soon as mine arrive, I will do a little test and we can just compare spin rates with my old wedges and my new wedges. But what we can do in the short term, if you are interested in wedges, is talk about the bounce and how the bounce affects the golf club. Okay, so bounce we've explained already outside. Kind of there's the bounce there on the bottom of the golf club. If we open the face up, we create more bounce, and the leading edge sits higher, we create more spin. We're less likely to take a divot. But if you're unsure what sort of bounce you need on your wedges, then Ping have created a nice little sticker here, look, that I've got on the bottom of my wedge, which will tell us where we want our bounce on our golf club, okay? So if we want it kind of at the front there, we want a wide sole, we want lots of bounce. If it's back here, we want a standard one. And then if it's back here, we want a low bounce one. Okay, so let me hit a couple of chips off this board and it will leave a couple of markings on the bottom there. And basically it will tell me what sort of bounce I want on my wedges. I'll just do little chip shots, sort of 20-yard shots. And that's where bounce is most effective, I suppose. When you're playing a full shot, you still have bounce on the club, but you don't notice it so much because you're playing a big divot, aren't you? So let me just hit a couple of chips off this board and we can see what bounce I need. Pretty standard. So there we go, straight away I've got a marking on the bottom there. Can you see that white mark? It tells us that the lie angle is correct, which I'd hope it would be, to be honest. They've fitted the wedges, so I don't need to adjust the lie angle because it's come out in the middle, but also it's come right in the middle of the wedge as well, right there. So I would want standard bounce clubs. Does that make sense? Okay, so where you strike the golf ball, that's where you would want those bounces, those bounces changed. Yeah? If it was there, I would want less bounce. If it was there, I would want more bounce on my wedges because I'm digging in with that leading edge or not. So it all depends on your angle of attack into your wedges as well, whether you want high bounce or low bounce. The turf we're playing off at the moment, do we want much bounce at the moment? Probably not, because the ground's so hard anyway. You're going to get a bit of bounce, but kind of in the wetter conditions you want a bit more bounce because you don't want that club digging. So it all depends what you do naturally, but also how you manipulate the golf club, but also what surface you're chipping off as well. But if you're interested, if you want to know more about wedges and you want a wedge fitting, it's a great simple little device there from Ping. Just hit a couple of shots off that board and it gives us a great starting point for the bounce that you might need on your golf club. Okay, so if you're unsure, just come and do a little test in the shop here and we can soon help you out. Right, okay, that's everything for this week. A little bit longer than normal, I'm afraid, because we had lots to catch up on. And I look forward to seeing you all soon over the next couple of weeks or so. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.